Yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here. Jay, he sent me a message saying that he was going to be at least give him 20 minutes. He was going to be a little bit late coming in as far as this discussion is concerned. And unfortunately, he doesn't have access to audio for this because otherwise you'd be hearing his voice as well. But this is something that Jay's really been looking forward to with me. As far as, collaborating and just doing this today. So I kind of just want to go ahead and do this and see where it goes from here, because Jay has been known to have a lot of theories and hot takes when it comes to One Piece as a whole, and I'm interested to see just how deep that rabbit hole goes, because many of you who have been on this channel see him come up here and he will literally fill up chat with a lot of theories. So it's going to be interesting to see how far this goes. Now, the thing is, I have another streamed plan. I'm going to be playing a game called Until You Fall, which is a new VR game that came out. It's a roguelike game where, well, I've been a massive fan of roguelike games ever since I started playing Risk of Rain 2, so I'm going to be playing that a little bit later. So this is not going to last long. This is probably going to be 30 to an hour, but at the very least, it'll probably be 45 minutes so that it doesn't go on for too long. So that's the game plan for now, and then that's what I'm going to be doing a little bit later. And then there's a whole Monster Hunter thing that just happened. Fatalis released, and I got to beat Alatreon again before I can take him on. You literally have to do a special assignment in order to unlock the ability to fight him. Then, I thought you only had to fight it one time and then you can just go straight to Fatalis. Nope. We have another special assignment where you have to beat it again. It's weaker, but you still gotta beat it again. And I've yet to have a successful mission where I'm fighting it. Maybe I should be doing it solo. But here's hoping that things go in my favor so I can actually face off against Monster Hunter's strongest monster. So, gonna be looking forward to that. But as far as One Piece is concerned, good lord, has this been a year for One Piece. We are literally in October. We're in October now, and we only have 2 months left. Not including this month, we only have like 2 months left of this year, and then we move on into 2021. This year has gone by quickly. What have we seen happen in One Piece? We saw Odin. We saw his travelings with Roger and his time with Whitebeard. We saw Oroshi's rise to power. We found out who Killer was, and that he's Kamazo, and that he's been force-fed smiles, and now he can never smile again. He can never show any other expression other than smiling. This has just been like a really big year for One Piece. And Oda has kind of been on fire, and this may have led to his detriment a little bit to his health, because he's just been pushing out chapter after chapter after chapter after chapter, and now that he's recovering, it's just like he's been going into overdrive. A lot of people are talking about how CG Projekt Red says that they're going to be having 6-day weeks leading up to the release of Cyberpunk 2077. But the crunch for 20 Cyberpunk is nothing compared to the crunch that one man has to do on his own, aside from like his editorial staff. The amount of crunch that they have to do to push out a chapter every single week, and every single chapter is always fire. I feel like that crunch for a mangaka is a lot more demanding than that of a AAA gaming company with countless members of staff and millions of dollars in their disposal. So Oda really does put in a lot of work when it comes to his work with One Piece. So with that being said, this has been like a ginormous year for One Piece overall. But let me go ahead and acknowledge everyone in the chat. But sorry for not acknowledging you, Anime Lee Arts Channel and D-Train. It's good to see the both of you here. Just waiting on JD Rich to get here so we can go ahead and start discussing some One Piece. Like I said, this isn't going to be too long. We're only going to talk about a couple of topics here and there, and then we're going to call it a session for today. Let me make sure my phone notifications aren't turned on loud so that they're not going off in the background. I'm a legend? No, just a man. Just a YouTuber. And I do not, in fact, have notifications turned down, so that way it's not disturbing us during this entire thing. And just make sure I didn't miss anything at all. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything at all. Nope, didn't miss anything at all. Hey, for those of you who have played Spider-Man on the PlayStation, did y'all see what they did to Peter? They completely changed his face. Now, their reasoning for this, and Brian Intihar has come around and said that the reason why we changed Peter's face is because the new actor that we have, Ben something, I forget his name, we did it because the newer actor falls in line with the movements of Yuri Lowenthal's motion capture for Spider-Man, and it made it easier to sync up his movements. But we've grown so used to John Bubayek's, I think I said his name right. Please tell me I said his name right. We've grown so used to John's face that playing Spider-Man Remastered on the PS5 with a completely different face, which a lot of people are saying looks a lot like MCU's Tom Holland. I don't know. I mean, I'm just so used to the way he looked before. But that's not One Piece related. I'm just biding for time until Jay gets here. Also, who else is thinking that they're going to have some more? Here's the thing. PS5 and Xbox Series X releases next month, and they say they're going to have a lot more systems available throughout this year. There's only 2 months left in this year, and how many are they making? Because let me tell you, trying to pre-order a PS5 on a site where it's completely bogged down and no one wants to let you pre-order anything, it's already difficult enough. Not to mention that you have stores that only get like seven physical copies there. Physical copies of it there. And you go there thinking that, hey, if I just get there a little bit early, then maybe I can get myself a copy. No, turns out that there are people just camping outside since the day before they said pre-orders would be open again. And they're just waiting. Hey, man, and because I got to my GameStop one day, and there were people outside. They had blankets, they had chairs, they had food and stuff. They were just camping outside of GameStop, waiting for the PS5 pre-orders to just turn up. I have just completed the Frozen Wilds and Horizon Zero Dawn. It's pretty good. Now, here's the thing. Horizon Zero Dawn is such an amazing game. It is such a beautiful looking game. And now we're getting another Horizon Zero Dawn game on the PS5. Like, all the details that you get in the current game, amp that up to maybe 11, maybe 11 and a half. And it's going to look that way on the PS5. It's just making me think, wow, games are really going to be more high def than they've ever been. From going to low res polygons, spiky polygons, to literally getting to uncanny valley levels of realistic. All at $70, because apparently that's going to be the new price of PlayStation 5 games. It's like, this is just $10 more shy of a deluxe edition game pre-order. So if they're going to start making games just be $70 from the base, can you imagine what the special editions are going to be when they start releasing more games in the future past the launch of the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox? But I'm getting sidetracked again because I could talk about games all day. I've just been wondering about things that have been happening in One Piece, to be quite honest. There's been moments going from there's been moments going from Dressrosa, and not just Dressrosa, but Punk Hazard all the way through Dressrosa, Whole Cake Island, Zoe, and leading all the way up to Wano, where a lot of the Straw Hats have had like a lot of defining moments where they had their moments to shine. Because back in Punk Hazard, we have Zoro showing off his expert cutting power and cutting the head off of a dragon. It kind of reminds me of a certain Wano-based samurai who's known as the God of the Sword. Then we have Luffy showing his prowess against fighting Logia-type Devil Fruit users. Because I believe Punk Hazard is his first encounter. Well, not his first encounter, but his first real big fight against a Logia user where he was actually successful. I don't count Caribou because Caribou was, pretty much manhandled by Peckhams, I believe. And then I believe Luffy in Punk Hazard fought against Caesar. So I want to say that was Luffy's first encounter with a Logia user that he was able to actually beat. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's already at a level where he can start taking on the Admirals in Maiju, because then we have Fujitora, who's just like toying with literally everyone in Dressrosa. I'm trying to think of another moment where the Straw Hats had their moment to shine. In Dressrosa, they pretty much separate, and the only people who are in Dressrosa are Nami, Chopper, Brook, Sanji, and Luffy, and Zoro. No, they were all there. Except for Brook. Wait, was Brook there? I'm trying to remember. Alright, Jay, let's go ahead and get this started. I'm probably going to cap it off at maybe about a good 45 minutes for this whole discussion. Just going through some of the big moments that happened for the Straw Hats as far as their big moments to shine ever since, the start of the time skip all the way up until Wano and now. Like, Brooks had his moments, like breaking into Big Mom's vault and then copying her road poneglyph, then hiding it in his head, then fighting Big Mom, mind you. Fighting Big Mom and surviving. Not only that, but actually being a actual counter to Big Mom's and her soul fruit abilities. Even though he wound up kind of losing, he didn't go out like a punk though, because he actually held his ground and then even talked down to her at the moment. So there was a lot of moments in One Piece where the Straw Hats had their moment to shine, and now we're here in the Wano arc, and they're just continuously shining. Like in the latest chapters, we got Brook and Frankie literally driving over Big Mom's face. And then Brook cutting Prometheus. Well, not Prometheus, but cutting Zeus in half again. So every Straw Hat has had their moment to shine. Then in the next chapter, we have Jinbei and Robin literally judo, shoulder throwing Big Mom over her shoulder. And then Robin is just rolling Big Mom like a bowling ball out of the area, out of the fight. Now, as we know, this is not going to keep her away for long. But the fact that the Straw Hats, without hesitation, are pretty much just dealing with Big Mom and getting her out of the way so casually and not even threatened by her, it just shows you just how far they've come as far as wanting Luffy to be Pirate King. Because if you're going to be on the crew of Luffy, then you cannot have any fear. You might as well present yourself as a D itself. The only exceptions to this rule, the only exceptions who don't kind of fall into this line of thinking, is Usopp, Nami, and Chopper. They both get scared when they're met with ginormous, strength-based, dangerous people. They're still scared. Whereas Luffy and... Oh, you can start at any time, Jay. I know I see your comments come up, but me saying you can get started at any time is probably not going to come up until, like 30 seconds later. So you can go ahead and start at any time. But Usopp, Nami, and Chopper are still the only ones who still have to get over their whole fearful thing that they got going on. Hey, Monkey D. King! It's good to see you here. Send me the link. Wait, what do you mean send you the link? I thought when you said send you the stream link. Wait a minute. Wait, I thought we Wait, what in what way how am I Wait, so you are you able to actually have audio now? I clicked on it and it brought me here. So what link were you meaning when you said you wanted to... What link were you meaning? I thought when you said send me the link, I thought you meant like link to this stream. Is it? Do you have another way where I can actually hear your audio and stuff? Because if so, like, what link were you meaning? The open panel chat link. Open panel chat link. You're one of the few guys that I'll watch ads for, as long as they aren't longer than 1 to 2 minutes apiece. I just hate ads in general, where they force feed 2 ads at once. Why can't we just go back to 1? It's not like I'm desperate for ad revenue, so I don't know why we can't just have one singular, one regular ad at the front, and then just be done with it. I don't know what's gotten to their heads of just having like 2 ads at once. Alright, so how are we doing this? How are we doing this? Yeah, man, I clicked on it again and brought me here again. I thought that was the link that you meant. The open panel chat link. What specifically is this open panel chat link? Because this is the first time that I'm trying this, because I'm more used to, people being on the Discord and talking that way, because that way I can have the desktop audio of the people talking in the video itself. That's what I did it with Max 3 Defender when I did that One Piece 4 Kids video with him. But I don't know off the top of my head what other audio way to be able for people to hear you, if that's what you mean. Now, I was hoping that would be something that we could have figured out, to be quite honest. And if it doesn't work out that way, then you can just say what you need to say in the chat, and then I'll just say it aloud. If it doesn't work out that way, we'll figure it out. But seriously, it's something that I've experienced with other YouTubers, where if they have an open panel, they will place a link in the live chat, then people are welcome to come up. This is the first time that I've heard of this whole open panel thing. I'm just used to people being up in Discord and speaking that way. I don't know of any other way. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Is it like a program or a website I need to go to key you in or something like that? Because I kind of want to find out here on stream so that way I can know for just in case someone else asks me about that later. Okay, so I guess we're gonna, so you're gonna do it through chat then. Okay, back when Zoro and Kuino were sparring, there was an owl gawking at their battle. Then when Zoro and Kuino made their promise, the owl went to sleep. Also, the funeral of Kuina, pay attention to the pallbearers. Alright, so you know what we're going to do? Since I got Viz up, I can go ahead and just bring up any chapter of One Piece, and I can look through these chapters that you're talking about. So I can kind of understand how your mind works when it comes to these theories that you got. So which chapter would that be exactly? Like in what ballpark would that be? The pallbearers said to one another why Kuina died, but one of them asked why would she do that? Let's find that chapter. The other pallbearer said, you can't understand humans. Why would another human say to another human at a human funeral, you can't understand humans? Alright, let me see. Volume 1, Chapter 5. It's a good thing that they have footnotes when it comes to character pages on the One Piece Wiki so I can know exactly what chapter to go to. So, Chapter 5. You know what? I actually have that volume right over there, so I might as well have looked into that. Okay, King of the Pirates and Master Swordsman. Okay, let me look through here. Okay, here we go. We got Kuino right here. Man, Oda's art style was really different back then, wasn't it? Okay, so going through here, we see Kuina. Someday I'll beat you because I worked hard, not because you got weaker. It's got nothing to do with being a boy or a girl. I'm training all the time to beat you. You're making me look bad. Let's make a promise to each other. Someday one of us will become the greatest swordsman ever. We'll fight each other for that title. You idiot, you're too puny. It's a promise. Then the next panel. Zoro, there's been an accident. It's Kuina. She fell down the stairs. She's dead. Then he's there ranting and raving at everyone as they weep over Kuina. Man, you made me a promise yesterday. You can't run away from your promise. Zoro, stop it. Humans are fragile things, Zoro. Sensei, may I have her sword? I suppose so. I'll have to keep the promise for the both of us. I'm going to become such a great swordsman that my name will be even known in heaven. Humans are fragile things. That doesn't sound like an odd thing that they would say, though. So maybe it was a translation you were reading, but for this, and this is the official licensed one, and actually, let me grab that manual as well. Because I got my first volume here. If they say humans are fragile things... Yes, humans are fragile things, Zoro. Yeah, they say it just like that. They say it just like that in this one. So it's like, I don't find it strange that they would say that. I'm a big fan and I love your channel. I want to give you advice from a big fan. You have to separate your channel to two. 1, to reaction for anime manga. 2, to gaming. Your algorithm is weak now. I'm not going to do that because my channel is fine the way it is. I'm not concerned about the algorithm. People will find me when they find me. So my stuff is fine the way it is. But this doesn't seem them saying humans are fragile things just doesn't seem that odd, though. It's actually a very human thing for them to say. And let me see what else you're saying. This is a theory you have about the Wado Ichimonji. Koshido's granddad came out of retirement to forge the blade, and when Koshido's family told him Koshido may have grown arrogant, believing it was naturally going to be his sword, but due to an incident that involved Zoro's father having to save Koshido's life using the Wado Ichimonji, and Koshido's granddad submitted the blade to Zoro's father. Wow. What? Huh? Wait, let me read that again. Koshido's granddad came out of retirement to forge the blade, and when Koshido's father told him, Koshido may have grew arrogant, believing that it was naturally going to be his sword, but due to an incident that involved Zoro's father having to save Koshido's life using the Wado Ichimonji, and Koshido's granddad submitted the blade to Zoro's father. So, two things right there with that theory. 1, we've never seen Zoro's father. So, I don't know how that would work. And 2, do you mean Koshido's granddad? Who's Koshido? Am I missing something here? Hold on. Oh, there we go. Okay, it's that's who he is. I forgot his name all this time. The Master Swordman and the teacher of Zoro. Has he ever been shown with family? Have we ever seen any family member of his other than Kuina's? I don't think we have. So, Koshido's granddad, I don't know where he would fall in that. Wow, I don't know where Koshido's grandfather would fall into that if we've never seen the grandfather, nor have we ever seen like granddad. No, but we know who his father is. Shimotsuki Kozabudo. Oh, wait, grandfather Koshido's... no, that's his father. That's his father, not his granddad. Member of the Shimotsuki family and a swordsmith who crafted the O Wazamono Meito Wado Ichimonji and Enma. He was born in Wano country, but illegally deported from there 55 years ago and eventually settled down in what became Shimotsuki village in the East Blue, where he fathered a son named Koshido. He's also the grandfather of Koshido's deceased daughter, Kuina. Okay, so that's his dad, but not his granddad. Also, remember Kuina called Zoro a poser for attempting two-sword style. Why would she call him a poser as if he was copying someone of great significance who was renowned for two-sword style? Or it could be that people who use two-sword style have far greater strength than what Zoro had when he was a kid, i.e. calling him a poser. You think you're hot stuff just because you're trying to two-sword style? You're nothing but a poser. Because only people with real skill can actually use that style. That's what I'm translating from that sentence right there. Because if I go back in this chapter, real swords is your funeral, on guard. No, I never said that guy was Koshido's father. I was referencing Koshido's granddad, who was never shown. I'm saying my theory revolves around Koshido's granddad being a blacksmith. Okay. Let me see. Okay, I'm looking through here. She beat Zoro using 2 swords. She beat Zoro using 1 sword, and he uses 2 swords. 2 swords, Zoro loses. Zoro is 0 for 2,000 against Kuina. Oh well. Pathetic, kind of weak for a boy, aren't you? Hey, Zoro's not weak. Yeah, he's the strongest in our dojo. He's even stronger than the grown-ups. That's so? Well, he's not as strong as me. Even if he can use 2 swords, he's still weak. Losers should learn to suffer defeat in silence. I don't see where it says he's a poser for using 2 sword style, though. Lost again, eh, Zoro? It's odd because you are actually very strong. Sensei, are you teaching her secret tricks because she's your daughter? Of course not. Why can't I beat that girl? Don't forget that Kuino's a little older than you, but I can beat grown-ups. I'm going to sail the seas and become the greatest swordsman in the world. Greatest swordsmaster in the world. I can't keep losing to that girl. But I don't see anything about... her saying that he's a poser for using 2 sword style, though. Alright, let me see what else you said. Koshido has told Kuina the stories of Odin. Okay. Koshido's granddad is a blacksmith. I never said that guy was Koshido's father. I was referencing Koshido's granddad, who was never shown. I'm saying my theory revolves around Koshido's granddad being a blacksmith. Also, remember, Shanks was born a year before God Valley, and remember when Roger asked Garp to raise Ace, and Garp said, "You selfish, why me?" Roger replies, "Because I know you'll do it." Roger said, "I know you'll do it," emphasis on I know. Okay, what does that have to do with Shanks? Shanks was born a year before God Valley, and remember when Roger asked Garp to raise Ace, and Garp said, "Selfish, why me?" Replies, "Because I know you'll do it." Why does Roger know he'll do it? Because Roger knows that Garp is that type of person. Garp isn't a believer in absolute justice, which means that his view on the world is a lot more malleable than those who do believe in absolute justice, i.e. Akainu, and pretty much any other admiral other than Aokiji at the time. Well, anyone else at the time, because during Roger and Garp's time, I'm pretty sure Sengoku... I'm pretty sure everyone who believes in absolute justice back then still believes in it now. And people who have a certain behavior towards certain things like Kuzan, they've kind of been the same way. So I would like to believe that it's not because... I would like to believe it's because Garp himself is that type of individual. I mean, his son is the leader of the Revolutionary Army. He's the most wanted man in the world. And he was left with his son. He left his son to his grandfather, who wanted him to become a Marine. But Luffy decided not to because, Shanks. Remember when Roger was holding Momo and said, "I haven't held a baby in quite a while"? Rayleigh said, "Reminds me of the old days." See, which means when Roxy Zebek was on his supposed deathbed, No, this is actually quite interesting. I want to hear more of this. Please, continue. Let me go back to what you said. Also remember Shanks was born a year before God Valley. And remember when Roger asked Garp to raise Ace and Garp said, "You selfish jerk, why me?" Roger replies, "Because I know you'll do it." Remember when Roger was holding Momo and said, "I haven't held a baby in quite a while," Rayleigh said, "Reminds me of the old days." See, which means when Rox D. Zebek was on his supposed deathbed, he asked Garp and Roger to look after a 1-year-old baby Shanks found aboard the Saber of Zebek, and I know why Garp did it, but I wanted to ask to make it sound suspenseful. Okay. Alright, I don't need that volume anymore since I got the chapters right here, so I don't need to have it on my table. That's why Roger didn't give Ace to Shanks. Because at the time, I want to believe... Like, let me see if I can pull it up here. I would like to believe at the time of Roger's death, Shanks was still very young. And I don't think Porcus de Rouge had given birth to Ace around that time. So it might have been and Shanks was still young because when he found out the news that Roger died, Shanks was 1 year old when Rox was defeated. Why Roger didn't give Ace to Shanks or Rayleigh? Well, Roger died before Ace was born. So it would have been difficult for him to give his son over to them because Porcus de Rouge held Ace for 18 months? Hold on, let me pull up Porcus de Rouge. I know she held Ace for a very long time. Shanks was 16 or 17 when Roger died. He met Hawkeyes around 16 and Hawkeyes was 19. But I don't see why Roger would try and leave Ace in his care. Hold on. Why Roger didn't give Ace to Shanks. Even if Shanks was 16 or 17, I don't think it would fit with Shanks taking care of Ace at that age. Hold on, let me just make sure that I'm getting all my thoughts in the right headspace here. Let me just piece it all together, okay? Let me just think of all this. Let's see. How long did she carry him? 20 months. Not 18 months, but 20 months. Interesting. Also, remember when Hawkeyes went to show Luffy's bounty to Shanks, and Shanks took his presents as a match challenge. Stop confusing my comments with that guy who asks why didn't Roger give Ace to Shanks. My bad. I did say let me get it in the right headspace so I'm not confusing people's comments. My apologies. Also remember, if you're the world's greatest swordsman, matches come to you because you defend the title. True. I'm just looking through some info here on both Shanks as a whole. to see if anything about him matches up with what you're saying. Because I always approach theories with, like, a hint of skepticism. I've been known to do that. So, apologies if I just don't immediately agree with a lot of your theories. Because some of it does actually kind of hit home. But at the same time, I'm still going to... Remember Hawkeye said, as if I'd settle the score with a one-armed man such as yourself. Well... I would like to believe, due to Mihawk and Shanks being rivals, who, in the past, that Whitebeard has said, who had fights that were legendary. Now, mind you, it has to be extremely substantial for Shanks and Mihawk's fights to be on such a scale that Whitebeard himself remembers these fights as legendary as they are. And I would like to believe that Mihawk sees no point in fighting with a person who has half the capability of fighting as they once did when Shanks had his arm. So I feel that's the reason why he said that. This was the first time they've seen each other since their last duel. Who knows? It's an interesting theory, though. All I know is that if we ever find out the level of Shanks' strength in the story of One Piece, then we're immediately going to come back to, like, the stories of Mihawk and Shanks fighting one another, just to see if it's as legendary as people say, or if it matches up with anything. So how did Shanks become a Yonko unless it was indeed his last fight with Mihawk? Shanks fought Mihawk to a draw while having both arms, and the girls say knew that balance had to be kept, so they gave... Shanks the Yonko title, but the world government does not decide who's a Yonko or not. I mean, the world news can call this person a Yonko, but it's only by the acknowledgement of other pirates, not just the world government, that a person is acknowledged as a Yonko. Because remember, back when Blackbeard did all that stuff that he did, it wasn't until he broke into Impel Down, broke out all those level 6 inmates, went to Marineford and almost helped destroy it, stole the power of Whitebeard, pretty much orchestrated the entire Marineford war, then went on to steal Whitebeard's territory as he made his claim to all of his territory. But it wasn't until Blackbeard and his crew fought Marco and his crew that he was acknowledged as a Yonko. So even if he could do all those different things, it wasn't until he did that, it wasn't until he fought Marco and company when the world acknowledged him as a Yonko. So it's not just, it doesn't seem like just the Gorosei who would give him that title. Okay, let me read through what you said. Let me read through the rest of this. So how did Shanks become a Yonko unless it was indeed his last fight with Mihawk? Shanks fought Mihawk to a draw while having both arms, and the Gorosei knew that balance had to be kept, so they gave Mihawk the title. Not that he doesn't deserve it, only because they don't want Shanks' true lineage to be uncovered by the world. That's why they agreed to meet with Shanks about the certain pirate. Remember, they said a man like you shouldn't show his face during politics. What does the world revolve around? Politics. Zebek tried to rule the world. Shanks is a hockey master. He knows all three forms and their three individual tier levels. That cannot be disputed. Shanks is a hockey master. That I will not refute you on. But this bit about Shanks' true lineage, though, that's up in the air. I have to be honest with you. That's a bit up in the air. Because, see, here's my thing when it comes to theories of One Piece. I have no problem acknowledging them as long as they fall, as long as some semblance of them. What's up? I'm in the middle of a stream. Would you care to input yourself into this conversation about One Piece?
No, I was wondering if you would mind impersonating Lala for Mia.
Lala? Who's Lala?
Elmo.
Elm? Really?
Yes! Yes.
Okay, hold on, hold on. All right, sorry about that. My god niece is over here, and she's a big, massive fan of Elmo. So my sister just had me do like a voice impression over the phone, and apparently her face lit up when she heard Elmo's voice. So I'm just grinning ear to ear. It's good to be wholesome. It's good. All right, let's get back to this conversation. How far are we going? 46 minutes so far. Okay, we're making good time. Okay, let me see. Shanks is a hockey master. Let me go back and just read through all the ones that you did. Shanks is a hockey master. He knows all three forms and their three individual tier levels. The last level of Conquerors is called Color of the Emperor's Will. What chapter is this in? Shanks is a D 100%. Shanks is the son of Rox. He would be the world's greatest if he wasn't the son of Rox D. Zebek, an individual who the world government does not want anyone to know of. That's why Rox is no longer of this world. I'm going to prove it with my next sentence. Pay attention. Zebek is a French name with French origin. Now look at Shanks' name. Red hair is his epithet. If you translate in French, you get Leroy Shanks. Or is it Leroy? Leroy Shanks. Okay, now I want to hear the impression 2, please. Rox D. X Zebek. Leroy D. Shanks. Interesting theory. Now I want to hear the impression 2, please. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. She's only like 1.5. Larox. Oh, Larox. So Larox D. Shanks. It's a cool name. It's a cool name. That's an interesting theory about Shanks. Shanks being the son of the person that stood in the way of Gold D. Roger being known as, wow, also Blackbeard has a third fruit. Interesting. Let me go down here real quick. Let me scroll down through here real fast. Merchandise. Not merchandise, what his name means. Look up info on the Ancient Kingdom. One of those were Blackbeard's ancestors, one specifically named Delia D. Mokuzai. Hold on, I'm in the middle of something. Okay, now they want me to actually record my voices so that I can actually sound like Elmo, so they can play it whenever she's feeling some type of way to calm her down sometimes. Okay, so hold on. Okay. Delia, or is it Delia? Delia D. Mokuzai. Mokuzai. Nope, database is not pulling up any Delia D. Mokuzai. Named Delia D. Mokuzai. She had the Fumin fruit. Guess what this fruit does? It gives the user the ability to never have to sleep. Remember what Shanks and Buggy said that to one another about Blackbeard when they were in their earlier teen youth? I remember. He said that Blackbeard never slept as a child. And remember the info Marco dumped on us about his body? What if Blackbeard's body holds the individual will powers of certain members of the Ancient Kingdom? Interesting theory. But I kind of want to know where you got the name Delia D. Mokuzai from. Because can I just be honest? Can I be honest? Okay. I am all for theories for One Piece and everything. But they at least have to have some semblance of evidence in the story itself for me to go along with it. And Delia D. Mokuzai, a person that does not exist in One Piece, and this Fumin fruit gives its user the ability to never sleep. Delia D. Mokuzai was an exiled member of the Ancient Kingdom. How come this has never been brought up in One Piece? Okay, I don't mind. I'm all for theories, but where's the evidence? Come on, seriously, where's the evidence? Where's this Delia D. Mokuzai? Her name does not show up at all. I'm not talking to you. Not talking to you, video. Where'd you come from? I mean, I would be all for this theory, and I would actually believe some of it. Delia D was exiled for some sort of treason that helped contribute to the Great War in cleansing, aka the Void Century. Okay, where is she in the story? You can't have a person who's exiled without acknowledging that they actually exist in the story. So in order for me to go along with this theory that Delia D. Mokuzai was an exiled member of the Ancient Kingdom, she would have first to existed in One Piece, which she does not. Which means that any theory that is linked to this individual is kind of moot. Can I be real? It's kind of moot. It sounds nice. But this individual does not exist in One Piece, nor has they ever been brought up in One Piece. So this theory that this individual had a fruit that gives Blackbeard the ability to never sleep kind of falls off, okay? It kind of does, because they don't exist! They don't exist! So how can this theory have any weight if they've never existed in the story of One Piece in the first place? Blackbeard is a descendant of the ancestors who started a rebellion in the Ancient Kingdom. Okay. Also, the skull on Onigashima is the remains of Oars the Original, aka the original continent puller. So, what was the very real zombified body of Oars in Thriller Bark then? If that was not Oars, the content puller, is it just a name that's passed down in generations then? I mean, I can kind of see it, actually. That I can actually kind of see, because it actually has weight. If you think about it, giants of Oar's size, maybe they just pass down the name of Continent Puller from one son to the next. So that I can see. That can actually make sense. And it's just the name that they passed down in their lineage. So I wouldn't be surprised if the skull that makes up the skull is the father of Little Oars Jr. Is this character in some of the extended materials, data logbooks, or something like that? Nope, they do not exist in anything whatsoever. Because even if they did exist, they would at least show like some sort of link to this person and link to the SBS of it on the One Piece wiki, which is pretty much everything that is everything that shows everything that has to do with One Piece. But this person does not exist whatsoever. Also, let me see. Also, remember, go back to 957 right now. Okay, let me pull that up, because I got the list of the chapters. I can look at every One Piece chapter from the beginning all the way up until now. It's good to have access to chapters. Okay, so you said 957. Let me go to it. Look at Sengoku's Fro. 957. This is a long list. Give me a sec. Oh, wait, this is the ultimate chapter. I remember, because this was one of my most hyped chapters. This is one of my most hyped chapters that I ever reacted to. Okay, I'm looking. What page am I supposed to be looking out for? Okay, I see it. Alright, so I see Roger, and I see Garp, I see Whitebeard, I see Zebek, I see Big Mom, and I see Kaido. Those are the people that I see. Am I missing a person in there? Because those are the three big people that I'm seeing in this. I don't see Shiki, I don't see anyone else. Okay, what looks like Roger and Garp going against Rox is actually Whitebeard betraying Rox. Look at how it seems Whitebeard is attempting to raise his weapon at Garp, but in reality, Whitebeard is charging a battle cry towards Rox, Charlotte, and Kaido. Well, why is he behind them then? If that is him charging a battle cry towards Rox, Kaido, and them, then why is Kaido behind them all? And Big Mom and Whitebeard is behind Rox, and they're all like, okay, so Whitebeard is actively betraying Rox by siding with Roger and Garp. No. Okay, I'm putting my foot down. No, because if you look at this, the way they're drawn, they're all drawn specifically to have their weapons raised in the air. Okay, just it's a stylistic choice. That does not mean that Whitebeard is betraying Rox to side with Roger and Garp. It don't. They're all three there facing off against Roger and Garp. I'm sure you would like to believe that that's what's happening here, but there's no evidence that points to that whatsoever, regardless. And if that was the case, then we would have known about it by now. So no, Whitebeard is not betraying Rox just to join up with Roger and Garp. It makes no sense. Why would he do that then? I will argue you down on this one. All right, bet. Because I'm not shaking on my resolve on this one. Whitebeard is not betraying Rox for Garp and Roger. He's not. I am looking at the picture. I've been looking at the picture for the last couple of seconds. He is not if he was literally charging a battle cry standing between Rox and between Rocks, Garp, and Roger, he'd be in between Garp and he'd be in between Roger and Zebek. He would be in between them, but he's not drawn that way. He's drawn behind him, beside Big Mom, and Kaido is behind them. They're all facing down on them. They're all facing against Roger and Garp. So no, I'm not changing my opinion on this. Remember, Rock's dream threatened Whitebeard's to have a family. Don't mean that... These are some hot takes. These are some hot takes. It's Garp, Roger. It's Garp, Roger, and Garp charging in. They're both charging in at the same time against Whitebeard, Big Mom, Kaido, and Rocks. Stay here, I'm pulling it up. I'm gonna prove it. I'm gonna prove it. Just stay here. Oh, don't worry. I'ma wait. Cause I'm gonna keep looking at this image all day. I can look at this image all day, and it's still not gonna change anything that I know about this. The only way we're gonna find out what truly happened is if Garp tells us the story. Because he's the only one who knows. Either Garp tells it, Big Mom tells it, or Kaido tells it. Because they're the only people who are still around to actually give us information on what happened that day. And seeing as how Garp is really not keen on giving us this information, I'm not changing what it is. I'm not changing what I think about this. As stubborn as that may sound, I need evidence that points to that this is actually Whitebeard doing this. Oda's has been known for years, has been known to just leave things here out in the open. But what he doesn't do is just leave it so blatantly undescriptive. If this was really Whitebeard, then it would make more sense for Whitebeard to not actually be there with them in this panel, showing that he's fighting against them. That's how I feel. I feel like it would seem like, hey, he's facing down some of the Rocks pirates, but strangely, Whitebeard isn't there. Why isn't Whitebeard drawn with the rest of them? Then you find out chapters later, boom, turns out that Whitebeard was helping him the whole time. That's an idealistic choice that I would go with. But for him to be there with them and still try and betray them, nah, bruh, no. Of all the theories that you've presented here today, that is one that I am definitely not agreeing with you on. Look at his place where he's drawn Oda, put him there just for our disagreement. Now look at Whitebeard one more time and really look. I don't know how many other different ways I can look at him. I mean, his position hasn't changed since I've been looking at him. He's still behind Rocks, next to Big Mom, in front of Kaido, facing against Roger and Garp. There is no evidence to the contrary. What else do you want me to say? Like, you can try and paint this picture like Whitebeard is betraying rocks, but first of all, it's not even gonna convey that in this one panel. We need context. There's absolutely no way you can see that. Whitebeard betrayed them mid-battle, and if you look at the pic, dude, he's on the side of Rocks and Garp. So if that's the case, and he's okay, so now I'm kind of starting to understand how you're looking at it. Okay, so from the position of where Rocks is, he's right here. And then we have Garp, then we have Roger, and then we have Whitebeard right here. So I can see like they're in like a semi-circle-like area that looks like they're aiming towards Rocks. Then you have Big Mom here, and then you have Kaido in the back. Okay, now I can kind of understand the view that you have of this. But it still don't mean that Whitebeard's betraying them, though! I don't understand what you're seeing. I literally don't. Just because they're drawn in this way does not mean that Whitebeard is betraying Rocks. We need context. There's only so much context that a singular picture can give amidst words being said in the big Alfro thought bubble that Sengoku has. I had you in the first half, not gonna lie, didn't I? You thought, yes, he's starting to get it. He's not betraying them. No! Mission failed. We'll get him next time. Oda is the king of story hints and context clues. Yes, he is. But here's a moment where it is just up in the air. Literally anything could be happening right now. Now, you can try and convince me all day, every day, until the Lord himself come back. But I do not see Whitebeard betraying Rocks to side with Garp and Roger. Because then it would take away from the prestige that came with Roger and Garp defeating the Rocks Pirates. The more you add on to Roger and Garp's team of defeating of the God Valley incident, the less you take away from the overall spectacle of Garp being known as the hero of the Marines, because then he has like 2 additional people helping him. Then it just takes away from the prestige of him being known as a hero of the Marines. In a way. I will motivate you whether you like it or not. Try it! I dare you! My resolve is strong! I told Joy Boy Theories the same thing, and he went to check and agree with me. He highlighted my comment on his review of 980, I believe. Nah, it wouldn't be. They could not have won that battle without Whitebeard. Who can say? We don't know the limits of strength in One Piece. Because you got people who can do the things that Roger can do and do the things that Whitebeard can do. So who can say what level of strength can allow things to happen in One Piece? Who can say? That's why Whitebeard turned on them last minute, because Zebek's last order gave great threat to Whitebeard's dream. See, that one can make sense, because with Zebek wanting to rule the entire world, who knows what it would mean for Whitebeard's dream to actually have a family. That I can agree with. Also, Robin is the older sister of Ace. Hold on. Hold on. I'm replaying what you just said in my head a little bit. Hold on. Also, Robin is the older sister of Ace. Why is it that in Alabasta, Ace left and they met Robin so coincidentally? I mean, look, they recruited Robin after Croc's defeat. But why didn't Ace get to meet Robin? Think about it. 'Cause Ace left. By the time Crocodile is defeated, Ace is gone! And the reason... Wow, okay. Let me just muse over this for a little bit. Why is it that in Alabasta, Ace left and they met Robin so coincidentally? Ace has always been asking a kid, do I deserve to die? Because that's how he felt, while Robin has been trying her whole life to vocalize her one wish, which is to live. Aside from the Blackbeard chase Ace was on. Okay, I'll stop repeating. My apologies. But please, continue. Continue. You seem to be on a roll right now, so please. Robin was 2 years old when Olivia left. Yes. In real life, pirates had multiple offspring. That I can believe. So... in real life, pirates had multiple offspring. Ace and Robin are flip sides of the same coin. Wait, there's more. Oh, is there? Hey, Star Squad Enterprises, you come in on a very, very interesting discussion. When asked who do you think will find the One Piece, let me see. Okay. Let me see if I can start to piece this together the way that you're saying it. Alright, check this out. Robin was 2 years old when Olivia left. In real life, pirates had multiple offspring. Ace and Robin are flip sides of the same coin. Wait, there's more. When asked, who do you think will find the One Piece, Roger said, my son, of course. Not only did he say who, but he said what specific gender. My son, of course. Yeah, Roger, but as opposed to who else? How else would you take that response? Because that's like me saying, like, if I don't have kids, but if I were to have a child and just a son, and I say, and people say, like, what is your son gonna do? Who's gonna find this monumental archaeological find? And I say, my son, of course. You don't automatically think that I as opposed to who else. If you know I only got a son, then you wouldn't think of it. He said it with implications of multiple offspring. You are way in left field there. Because what implication does it say that he's had multiple children? There's literally no implication of that. Roger does not seem the guy to be a rolling stone just sowing his wild oats everywhere across the sea. So, Robin being Ace's sister, how would that even work? Because Robin's father and mother, they were shown in one chapter to be, walking with her. And if that were the case, then what that would imply is that Roger got with Olivia, because apparently Robin's father was shooting blanks. And then it turns out that Robin is Roger's daughter. And then Porcus de Rouge gave birth to Ace, which makes Ace her, stepbrother. Or half-brother. If that was the case. That's literally what pirates do. They sire kids all over the sea. That's real life fact. Yes, real life. But we're talking about characters in One Piece. Real life and everything about real life pirates does not apply to every single pirate in One Piece, though. So we can't base the behaviors of real life pirates on characters in a series where everyone does not behave like your typical pirate. So, that's a bit of a stretch, bruh. It's a bit of a stretch. No, we can't. No, we can't. Because just because you have people behaving like pirates doesn't mean every single minute detail is going to be just like that. The series is inspired from blatant piracy. Yes, it is, but not every single aspect of piracy. Not everything that has to do with real-life pirates falls in line with One Piece. Piracy is used as a template. Not everything that has to do with pirates in real life applies to the exact same thing as One Piece. Which goes back to what I mean, that just because Roger is a pirate doesn't mean that he was just being all big and bad, going around, siring kids all over. Just doesn't take me as the type for him to do that. I'm sorry. But it just makes no sense to me to think that Roger would be the type to do that. But there's more, so please continue. Because I'm heavily invested in this conversation right now, and I'm kind of interested in seeing how far this will go today. I really want to know. What more do you have? What more do you have? Do you have more evidence, sir? Look at Robin and Ace's childhoods. They were centered around, do I deserve to die and I want to live? See, Oda knows what he's doing with that angle, but I'm going to go into Shanks' age history a bit more. Sure, Oda may know what he's doing with that angle, but there's no implication that just because they have a reverse view of the world, that links them. Because there's a lot of things that a lot of these different characters can get linked to, but doesn't necessarily mean that they're related on that level, though. When Ace left home, Shanks was a Yonko at the age of 33 and met Ace in the second year he became a Yonko. Okay, continue. Sorry if you guys are at home and you just hear me going real silent. I'm just waiting on his response. Because I really want to see where he's going with this. I really want to see where he's going with this. I'm pulling up this page again. I'm pulling up pretty much everything important right now. Well, not everything, because then it'll start to slow the internet down. I'm just seeing. Also, Zoro inherited the will of Ryuma. Inherited the sword of Ryuma. That I can understand. But maybe he inherited his will in the sword, in accepting the sword as well. So maybe I can see that. Maybe I can see that. Remember those sailors from Ohara who told Olivia they were going to fulfill her husband's wishes? Ohara has more endgame importance than ever. Too bad we won't be seeing it anytime soon since it got raised by a buster call. Roger met Olivia outside of Ohara, and Roger found his way to Ohara through Olivia's guidance. Olivia's husband died many years before the storyline began. However, it can be assumed that she held him in high regard as she left Ohara to study the poneglyphs in order to honor his wishes. The absence of him from Robin's flashback suggests that he died before she was born or when she was too young to remember him. I wonder. The only way Ohara would have endgame significance is if someone actually survived the Buster Call that wiped the entire island out. Either that or Robin comes through with more information on Ohara than she's letting on. But check it, go back to Marineford when Shanks intercepted Kaido there. May have been talk of Rocksteady Zebek. I guarantee Kaido was drunk and slipped out some info to Shanks. That's why Shanks went to the girl say later on after the time skip. Who's to say what actually transpired between Kaido and Shanks on Kaido's way to Marineford when Shanks intercepted him? I mean, it can be said that they may not have fought because Shanks arrived completely unscathed. Not only that, but his ship arrived unscathed as well. So that could be said that there wasn't any fighting. It may have been talking and stuff going on. So I can believe that there were talks. Now about what? Who can say? About Nico Robin? Still up in the air. So I can't just submit myself on that assumption. Would be interesting, but doubtful. But then again, it is a theory, so like I said, up in the air. Who can say? Go ahead and save this project real quick. I made a video like a couple of days ago and I still have it sitting up here in my editor for some odd reason. Roger got sick at 49, but he met Olivia when Olivia was 20 years of age, making Roger 40 at the time, and then 2 years later, Olivia leaves a 2-year-old Robin behind. Just as I suspected. Roger got sick at 49, but he met Olivia when Olivia was 20 years of age, making Roger 40 at the time. And 2 years later, Olivia leaves a 2-year-old Robin behind. Robin is 10 years older than Luffy and about 3 to 4 years older than Ace. So, I mean, I don't know. Robin is the oldest Straw Hat, second to Brooke. I thought Jinbei's older than Robin, so wouldn't that make her the third oldest? Jinbei's older than Robin, isn't he? Jinbei is 44. Well, 46 after the time skip. Unless you count Jinbei's fish years. Unless you count Jinbei as fish years, but I'm not sure how that would apply to human age. When has, like, the years of fishmen ever been taken into account in comparison to humans? So we can just apply their age just as normal to humans instead of, you know, like what humans are to dog years. I'm pretty sure we can just count fishman ages to that of human years. So Jinbei is older than Robin. So she's actually the third oldest. Then underneath her is Frankie. And then the rest of the Straw Hats going on from there. But let me just read through all this again. Roger got sick at 49, but he met Olivia when Olivia was 20 years of age, making Roger 40 at the time. And 2 years later, Olivia leaves a 2-year-old Robin behind. Robin is 10 years older than Luffy and about 3 years to 4 years older than Ace. Robin is the third oldest Straw Hat, unless you count Jinbei's fish years, but I'm not sure how that would apply to human age. But at the same time, even here's the thing though. The information we get from Nico Olivia, and when it comes to relationships, her husband, Frankie, is older than Robin. Thank you, Ivan. So that actually makes her the fourth oldest. But when it comes to information about the husband of Nico Olivia, because it doesn't say Olivia, but it says Olvia. Husband died many years before the storyline began. However, it can be assumed that she held him in high regard as she left Ohara to study the poneglyphs in order to honor his wishes. The absence of him from Robin's flashbacks suggests that he died before she was born or when she was too young to remember him. So it can, I guess, fall into that realm of thinking that maybe she had an encounter with Roger. Olivia held Roger in high regard, and pirates can have multiple wives and or baby mamas of the sea. You're applying real-world logic to a story where not every real-world concept is applied. So this whole idea of Roger fostering multiple kids across the sea, like, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. You can argue all day that pirates have done it in real life, but this is not real life. This is One Piece. So you can't, as much as you would like to, Jay, as much as you would like to, you cannot apply every single real world concept to that of One Piece. And that includes pirates, spreading out across the sea. And that applies to people like Roger as well. Multiple, 2 kids. Even that! I know it sounds nice, but we can't just automatically assume that just because this string matches the same color as that string, but it's smaller than that string, then it's obviously part of that other string. There's still more connecting of the dots that has to happen. Granted, this is how theories are made, but at the same time, there's still got to be some information. Haven't had this much fun in a while. Thank you for this. Of course. Because, let me be honest with you, Jay. Ever since you showed up with your theories and your hot takes, you have literally made me want to make sure that I got my info of One Piece right, because you be coming in with some hot takes, boy, like literal making me rack my brain to make sure that everything I know of One Piece is correct. You keep me on my toes, so I'm having a lot of fun with this as well, I will admit. And I've always been wondering, like, okay, he's here with his hot takes, let's see where he's gonna go today. Every time you show up for one of my reactions. So, for you to just pour out your heart and soul in this manner, it's fun. It's fun, okay? It's real fun, I will admit. A lot of it that I don't agree with you with, but it is fun. What do you think Shanks being raised by Zebek and not Roger, what do you think? Shanks being raised by Zebek and not Roger, do you think he would be evil? If that was an actual concept that existed in One Piece, then maybe. Also remember Garp got mad at Shanks' arrival at Marineford. Yeah, because he's looking the same person that inspired his grandson to become a pirate, and pretty much cause a lot of different things to happen in Marineford just shows up. The very person that Garp blames for Luffy wanting to be a pirate, and then Luffy ends up in one of the biggest wars at the time of Marineford. He's like, there's the dude that helped start half of this mess. Because he remembers the day that he and Roger agreed that Shanks should be raised by Roger, but Shanks put Luffy on the path to piracy. Okay. The very person Garp saved inspired his grandson. Man, you can't make this up. I mean, you can. You can make it up. But there still needs to be a little bit more info in between. Blackbeard inherited Zebek's will, but Shanks is the actual son. Oh, and Kuma betrayed Sabo. Okay. That sounds nice. It sounds nice. It sounds nice. Sounds interesting. Sounds like it would be a good story. But is it something that Oda would write? There's the linchpin in every single theory. Is this something that Oda would write? Or is this something that you think sounds nice and sounds believable? Because those are two entirely different things. I've discovered Green Bull's power. No one knows what his power is! We don't even know what the guy looks like. You don't know his power. I wanted to say this to you when you tried to bring this up in the chapter reaction on Sunday. Oh no, in my reflections that I did yesterday. I wanted to bring this up to you, but no one knows what his power is. No one even knows what he looks like. We don't know his personality. We don't know what he does. We don't know his level of strength, other than the fact that Doflamingo says that he's a monster compared to Fujitora. In a monster just like Fujitora. We don't know what his power is. We don't know. I will argue you up and down all day, every day. We don't know. Green Bull is a perv, I'm sure of it. Well, we know that he has an affinity for the ladies, because Green Bull has abilities similar to Bulbasaur, but see, Green Bull doesn't need to eat because every time he basks in sunlight, he's activating the photosynthesis process. Sitting in sunlight does not mean you have abilities that are linked to photosynthesis. Remember Green Bull sitting in that lawn chair tanning next to Fujitora. Or it could be that he's sitting in a room with multiple windows in broad daylight. Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness. Dude. Oh my goodness. Wow. Go rewatch the episode. He's literally sitting in broad sunlight. Does not mean that he's a plant-based devil fruit user. What? Hey, Karma, what's going on? Green Bull is Usopp. No, Usopp is God. We already know this information. Usopp is above Green Bull. Chopper could one-shot Green Bull. Green Bull can manipulate solar energy into objects, and also he can coat his body in solar energy. Where is this information? I hope the little one isn't sleeping and I haven't been screaming my head off this entire time. I really hope that she's not asleep and I just been screaming this whole time. Sorry if I'm being too loud. Why do you think he hasn't eaten in over 3 years? Because people are weird in One Piece. Just because it seems plausible does not mean it is the only answer. Now you got, like, I'm gonna say this again, Jay. Is this something? Green Bull, his name is even plant-based. Having green at the front of your name does not necessarily mean that you are plant-based. Imagine Green Bull with Frenzy Plant. Now here's the thing. If it turns out that Green Bull in fact has a plant-based devil fruit, I will profoundly proclaim that I am wrong. But if it doesn't, then we continue on with our day. The word green doesn't mean anything. Thank you, Karma. Thank you. Oh my goodness. I just feel Green Bull ate the earth fruit. Or the soil no mi. I don't know. Oh my goodness. Like, I feel like when I think of you giving, I'm serious about that bet. Okay. I mean, I'm not taking it. I'm just gonna keep all the theories that you've spoken into consideration because I'm not getting rid of this stream or anything, so all the evidence of our entire conversation will be here for all future generations to look back on. So just in case I do miss a theory in the future chapters of One Piece, someone can remind me of all the ones that you brought up. But I just feel like some of these theories feel a bit similar to the fan-made Back to the Reverie chapters that I did not too long ago. Because in that fan-made chapter, Ryukugiyu's power is exactly what you're talking about. So I don't know if you've been inspired to maybe think that his powers are like that because maybe you read those chapters? But I don't know. Like I said, these are some interesting theories, but what really cements them is the fact that are these theories something that Oda would write into his story, the way that Oda writes story. That's the thing that's kind of killing the mood. That's the thing that's killing the idea for me for some of these theories to be plausible, except for those that kind of make sense. Are these theories something that Oda himself would write in the story? That's the thing, though. And if you guys want to check out some of the theories that he has, you can go to his channel at JD Rich. Trust me, it's not hard to find him. You just type in his name and he's there on that channel. But if you guys want to check out some of his hot takes on his channel, then be my guest. But you guys already know my take on it. I don't think Green Bull has a plant devil fruit just because it would be obvious and everyone would think that. It's too obvious. Green Bull. Plants are green. That must mean he has a plant-based devil fruit. It's just too on the nose. If it was that simple, then a lot of us would have figured out a lot of things that are happening with One Piece if it was that obvious in our face and that easy to decipher. Oda's not an easy person to read. So half of these theories gonna be bringing more content this year, and I want to do more collabs with you. We'll see. We'll see. But this definitely was an eye-opener for me. It means that I need to be more well-versed. He was tanning in the sunlight. He was tanning and the sunlight was reflected to obviously show photosynthesis. Or him being in broad daylight in a lit room. I don't know how other ways I can put this, man. They're both sitting in a room with multiple windows in broad daylight. Just went to his channel and saw that one title said Nigo Ramen is the sister of Porcus the Ace. Oh, so you saw that one too. What do you think Blackbeard wants? Why do you think Blackbeard wants to be Pirate King? What purpose does Blackbeard have on becoming Pirate King? That's the thing. We don't know the real end game of Blackbeard. We know that he has a plan. He had a plan back in Marineford, but we don't know what his end game is. So that's kind of left up in the air. And obviously there are a lot of theories steeped from this, so who can say at this point? You know me, I'm a wait and see type of individual. That's why I don't give too many theories out there. I like to wait and see how the story's going and maybe give theories that are linked to the chapters that we go through. Elbaf will be Shanks' arc. Also, Mihawk will ally with Shanks and get killed by Shiryu during the Blackbeard War. So, there's a reason Green Bull chose to sit in that specific room. Okay, I mean, it's just a room, though. Doesn't necessarily mean that he's sitting in that room specifically to be out in the sunlight. Because if that was the case, he'd be outside. Well, actually, he was outside. But it doesn't... I mean, Blackbeard wants to be Pirate King to basically fulfill the will of Zebek, an actual world ruled by pirates, aka a pirate's paradise. See, that I can actually believe. I can believe that. because that falls in line with the type of behavior that Blackbeard has. Everything else, however, it's still up for review. You don't need to be outside. True, but I still don't think he got a plant-based devil fruit, though. I'll fight you tooth and nail for that. I don't believe that. I'll wait and see first. And like I said, if I'm wrong on any of these theories, I'll admit that I'm wrong. But if I'm not, I low-key want to see a Deadly Davy back fight between Red Hair, Straw Hats, and Blackbeard. That actually sounds like an interesting mashup. I want a Supernova meetup. You know what? It would be interesting to see all the supernovas in one place since the time skip. Like, we've seen them spread out everywhere, and now we're getting more and more supernovas all in one place on Wano. Because we got Law, we got Luffy, we got Zoro, we got Hawkins, we got Drake, we got Scratchman. The only person, and Kid, and Killer. The only person we're missing is Capone, Mad Monk, and Jewelry Bonnie, and Blackbeard, but Blackbeard is just doing his own thing. So those are the only people who are missing. But everyone else, there's a great deal of supernovas who are on Wano right now. So we could be seeing... Also, Eustace Kid is Shank's younger brother. Why? Because they both have red hair? Red hair stay together? Just talking, training, telling stories, in my opinion, that would be cool. Blackbeard is on his way for Robin. Eustace Kid and Shanks share the same mother, but different fathers. Care to explain how you came to this conclusion? I honestly want to know this one. Take away Kid's headgear right now. Why was Kid's left arm specifically cut off by the red hair pirates? Any number of reasons a person loses a limb? Because? Like, maybe it operates on, hey, if you steal from me with this hand, then you get this hand taken away. So if you tried to steal something with this arm, I'm going to take that arm away. I think Eustace is Shanks' father, Mihawk is Shanks' brother, and Luffy is Mihawk's son. You're fitting in just fine here, Karma. Who did Kid inherit his conquerors from? But a left arm, specifically the same arm Shanks is missing? Sure, you can put those parallels together. Why was it that, oh, Kid is missing his left arm just like Shanks? They're obviously related. But... what do you mean inherit? Dofi didn't inherit it from anyone. Yeah, because can you imagine a celestial dragon who had the power of Conqueror's Haki and they didn't abuse it? Look at Shanks' eyes and look at his scars. Now look at Kid's face and his scars. Look at them both and compare their marks facial-wise. Okay, you know what? I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to pull up... okay, I got Shanks right here. I got him off to the side. I got his full face appearance. And now I'm going to pull up Eustace Captain Kid. Now, if I pull him up, after the time skip. Alright, so the only parallels you're drawing from this. The only parallels you're drawing from this from Shanks and Eustace is the fact that they have scars on the left side of their face. Dofi got his hockey through self-ambition. I don't believe Dofi's father had the abilities. Which goes in line to thinking that it doesn't have to be... Inheritance is not the only way that one can get Conqueror's hockey. Which means that it takes self-ambition and the strength of one's will that allows you to access Conqueror's hockey. Now, it's a 1 in a million chance. So that just falls in line with the thought that Eustace didn't inherit it, he just has it. Because if that's the case, then where did Don Chinchao get his? Did he inherit it? Or was it, the strength of his ambition? Pull after time skip, both of them. I got them both up here. They both look the exact same. I mean, Shanks has not changed since the course of the series of him, having one arm. He has not changed appearance-wise. He still looks the exact same. Eustace Kid, he got scars on the left side of his body. Ooh. That was nasty. That was a nasty burp. And he's missing his left arm. But that does not mean that they're related in any way. I'm confused. That doesn't mean that they're related just because they have facial scars and missing arms in the same spot. That don't mean anything. Now look at them both and take away Kid's headgear. Okay. I'm not seeing any, family resemblances or anything. I don't know what you're expecting me to see. Kid does not share any resemblance to Shanks. Kid literally would not have gotten those scars if he didn't want to fight every person that exists in One Piece. So my thoughts is, not all the scars he has on his body came from the red hair pirates. More than likely, it came from him, not backing down from anybody and, him being just a malevolent pirate and killing anyone who crosses him. Why does Kid want to beef with Shanks so bad? It's not like a regular pirate going for a big timer. Kid has resentment and personal ill will towards Shanks outside of getting his arm cut off. You may not see full resemblance, as I said. They have different fathers, but the same mother. Okay, so Shanks is from chapter 998, from 598, not 998, but from chapters 598 onwards, Shanks is 39. And then Kid is 23. So he's literally 9 years apart. There's like a 9-year gap in between them. No. I'm wrong. There's a 16-year gap in between them. Okay, Shanks is from the West Blue. Shanks is the older brother. I doubt it. I honestly doubt it. I don't know, man. These are some serious hot takes right now. They really are. And the only thing that can draw to this conclusion is they both have red hair. They come from the West Blue. Isn't Kid from the North Blue? Originally from the South Blue. How did you guys even meet up? He just appeared in my chat one day. So, Kid is from the South Blue. Shanks is from the West Blue. Oh, and the baby that Makino was holding at the bar with green hair is Shanks' son. That's been a theory that's been in the air ever since we've seen that. People have been drawing up that theory for years, so that's not new. No, it says he's from the South Blue, not the Southwest Blue, but from the South Blue. Oh. It's not impossible to travel southwest. It's not impossible, but that's not where Kid is from. He's from the South Blue. But that doesn't mean he's just specifically from the Southwest, otherwise it would specify. Who to say their parents didn't cross paths, and I'm saying Southwest in general, I'm not saying he's from the Southwest Blue. Still. A lot of hot takes here, Jay. I'm just going to be honest with you. There's a lot of hot takes here. And this has actually gone on an extra hour longer than I was expecting. Has been an entertaining conversation, though. He may be, but I've only been taking all of his theories with a grain of salt, so if he is, hey, it is what it is. I'm just hearing him out. Because he's been wanting to do this collab for many moons. For many moons, he wanted to do this collaboration with me. So, I decided to oblige him. And I had a feeling that these conversations... I had a feeling that we would be having these conversations. I just knew it. But still, a lot of hot takes in here. But, here's what I'm going to say to all of that. I thought this was, you know what? This has gone on for like 2 hours or so, and we could basically keep going until the sun literally goes down. But I kind of want to go ahead and get my other stream started here in a little bit, so I can just test out the game itself. So this is where I'm going to actually start to bring it to a close here and there. JD Rich! We finally had that big old collab stream. I'm bringing the heat tonight, man. Yeah, you are. You're definitely bringing the heat. And I'm over here just cooling off. Listen to all these hot takes over here. Just taking it all in. Seeing what makes sense and seeing what definitely does not make sense. So, this is where I'm going to bring it here and end for today. I want to thank JD Rich for being here, and even though I couldn't get your voice in here so we can actually audibly hear you, it was entertaining to hear all your theories of One Piece and how you view One Piece as a whole, because I got a bit of an idea of how you view One Piece. Your view is a lot different than mine's, but it's an interesting view nonetheless. Now, some theories you have actually do make sense. I'm going to say that. They actually do make sense, and they actually have a little bit of credibility. Some of the others need some review from my editorial staff. So, with that being said, thank you everyone for tuning in to this discussion of One Piece with my man JD Rich. this was an entertaining and enlightening view of just how different people's views of One Piece really are, because not everyone sees One Piece the exact same way, which in turns make us both unique and also gives us a unique perspective on this monumentally awesome narrative story that has brought us all together. So with that being said, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later peoples.